Hi there, it's Alyssa from Domestic Heights. So today I'm going to show you a few fun things you can do with a new offset, Cricut offset feature that's within Cricut Design Space. And to do this, I'm going to use an example of mouse ears and a bow and some text as well. So there's a couple of fun things that you can do. I know everyone's probably seen the tutorials, and the most obvious is to create a halo around some text. But I actually like to use this feature for lots of other things. Um, and so the first thing I'm going to show is how to sort of work with different shapes and create new shapes with this offset feature. So I already have this template here. This is available for free in my resource library. It's just two mouse ears and a cute bow. And I'm going to ungroup this and take one of the shapes. So what I want to do is create an outline around this. So I'm going to turn this into a shaker card. And to do that, I want sort of I want a gold outline of this to hide the glue on the outside of that shaker card. And so this is a relatively simple shape, and so there's not much to it in terms of creating the offset. So you select the shape, and then you just go to the pull down menu for the offset feature, and there's two options here. One is the distance from the base shape. You can go inverted, you can go outside the line, and then the second is, do you want your sharp corners to remain sharp, or are they curved? For this, I guess curve looks nice, so I'll just keep it at that, and I'm going to do an outline outside the original base shape. So I'm going to hit apply, and so now it's created sort of this outline. It's actually another shape. So if you pull apart, you see it's not actually an outline yet. It's just the shape outside the bigger shape outside the original shape. And so in order to cut this as an outline, I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to attach. You can also slice it as well, since it's only two shapes and it is possible to slice. But I just attached it, so now when it cuts, it will be cutting an outline. So that's one example of what you can do with simple shapes. Another great example is sometimes you're just making something. So here, this bow is a perfect example of this next thing that you can do with offset. Sometimes you want to thicken a line because you're not using vinyl, or maybe you want to use paper and it's thinner paper, and you need to create a thicker line out of the original line. So similar to that, what this is just a slightly more complicated shape. And so you want to select that shape, and then again use the offset drop down menu. But this time I'm going to explore sort of inverted outlines, because there's so many shapes within this base shape. Sorry, this is getting confusing. The actual outline might actually look better if I went negative. And so that's kind of actually what I want to do. So I'm again creating an outline to go with my mouse ears here, shaker card. So I want to go a negative, and it actually looks quite nice, because what it's doing is creating negatives from both the outside of the outer edge and the inside of the original outer edge, or original inside edge. Sorry. Okay, so we created that, and you can pull this apart and see that you now have a thicker outline. Now, for this specific project, when I'm making a shaker card, I also want a base shape that's exactly the same size as this new outline. And so in order to do that, I'm just going to select this new outline, and then you can contour the shapes away, as in hide the interior pieces. So we're going to hide those three items. Did I select? I find this contour feature really confusing. Wait, what hit? Okay, I think that mostly hit everything. so that's creating thicker lines. So now we're going to move on to text. So this is the one that everybody's probably doing. It's most obvious. It's really fun. Um, and so all you have to do is type your text, and I've done that already. Select your font, and then again use the offset function and create an outline. Okay, so I want to highlight a couple of things here. Uh, Sometimes when you're creating this and you've selected a font and a thickness such that there are some interior um, shapes within the the big offset outline that you may or may not want. There's a couple things you can do to remedy this. One, you can just make it thicker. But visually, that's not something you want. Then you can select your offset outline and again contour it away. Gosh, I find this contour tool so confusing. Wait. Ah. Okay. Well, sorry. Okay. Well, you get the idea. So you just hide the interior space and make sure you select the right one. Um, okay, one last thing, troubleshooting when offset is not working. It's not perfect tool. It's still in beta, um, but I don't think they're going to be able to fix this one anyways because I haven't even seen Adobe be able to do this. So I doubt Cricut is going to be able to do this. Anyways, so um, I'm gonna just sort of purposely make this kind of ugly. So sometimes what happens is you get weird offshoots. Okay, I've exaggerated this particular one just to show to provide an example, but you get weird sharp edges here. Okay, now this is not a problem, and sometimes the rest of it looks great, and you want to keep it, and there's no other way to keep it other than the current setting. And so all you have to do in that case is you take your offset shape and then you create another shape. So sometimes a square works, sometimes a more circular piece might work. You align it to where you want to shave off that edge. You actually, this is a problem. So what happened was when I created this, it turned into a multiple shapes here, and which is kind of annoying. Um, okay, so what you want to do here is just shave off that edge piece so that it's straight. Now, this is not the perfect example, but you get the idea. Is that when offset is not working properly, and you get this weird sharp edge, all you have to do is take another shape and slice it off. And that's it. It's pretty straightforward, and there's lots of fun things you can now do with creating offsets.